أعزائي مشاهدي اليوم السادس أهلا بيكم. النهارده هنتكلم عن موضوع كبير وجديد ما كناش بنفكر فيه زمان. كنا دايما بنفكر إن إحنا نعمل investment في real estate، إن إحنا ناخد resale ونعملها rental property. ده كان ال very common chances موجودة. دلوقتي عشان تاخد مكان في ميسيساغا مثلا $1,000,000 you are gonna have a challenge إن أنت تقدر تجيب الانفستمنت دي وان انت تأجرها بسعر يغطي الانترست ريت اللي انت بتتحملها. فهيبقى بالنسبه لك المشروع ده يا خسران يا خسران، او خلينا نقول في احسن الاحوال، في احسن الظروف هيقدر يغطي مصاريفه بالعافيه. ان ما كانش ممكن ما يغطيهاش دلوقتي في الوقت الحالي نتيجه ارتفاع الانترست ريت. فالكاش او الانفستمنت اللي انت موجود معاك بتضيع عليك ومبقاش عندك الفرصة ان انت تستخدمها في المكان الصح. البري كونستراكشن دلوقتي بيقدم لك ميزة كبيرة. خلينا النهاردة نتكلم مع موضوع مختلف عن البري كونستراكشن، لانه مش اي بري كونستراكشن ممكن تشتغل فيه ومش اي مشروع ممكن تفكر تنفست فيه. فالنهاردة انا بقدم لك فرصة انك تتعرف على ازاي تنفست في البري كونستراكشن بروجكتس، وايه احسن investment موجودة دلوقتي حاليا وليه تقدر تinvest فيها وازاي. I have the chance to welcome Philip Cooperhouse. He is the VP of Sales and Marketing of In8. Philip, أهلا بيك. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Welcome to Day 6 TV show.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here today.
Yeah, you will learn Arabic when we finish. So
I speak pre-construction, so I can still understand what you're saying.
So you understand everything, right? So welcome to our show. It's my honor to have you today in Day 6 TV.
Thank you.
And we are going to talk about the new investment, a new project that you have in Hamilton, 1107 Main Street.
Yes, we're really excited to present that.
So before we start your presentation and before you take us more through the presentation, we need to know from your viewpoint, the pre-construction, is it the best way now to invest in real estate compared to the resale that we used to have for rental properties, and why?
Yeah, it's a very interesting opportunity right now. Obviously, interest rates have gone up very fast over the last year. And pre-construction offers you an opportunity to get into the market without having to get a mortgage today and pay very high interest rates. Pre-construction condos are for new developments that are going to come in 2027, later than that. So this project closes only in May 2027. And with pre-construction, your deposits are spread out. So in our project, only 5% this year, 5% next year, 5% in 2025, and the last deposit on closing in 2027. So you get to lock in prices today in the buyer's market that is today, and the builder essentially loans you the rest of the purchase price for free. And right now, you'll actually make interest on those deposits. You'll earn interest on those deposits while the building is being built. So I think right now is a very good opportunity. It's a buyer's market. We're offering incredible prices, incredible incentives that you wouldn't otherwise receive. And I believe in 2026, interest rates will be going down. The Bank of Canada said end of 2025, they expect inflation to normalize. And when interest rates start to go down, prices will go up. But you'll have your price locked in at 2023 prices.
So 1107 Main Street, targeting different segments of rentals.
Yeah.
That's not only student home, I guess. What else and why?
Yeah, that's a good question. 1107 Main Street's a very unique project. At In8 Developments, we look for areas that are very underserved in terms of supply. And this neighborhood, Westdale, beside McMaster University, has had no construction of any new buildings in the last 40 years. So the market is very undersupplied. It's less than a 10-minute walk to McMaster University, 37,000 students, 15,000 faculty. It's also less than 10-minute walk to McMaster Hospital, which has another 15,000 employees, physicians, technicians, nurses, and it's only a 7-minute walk to McMaster Innovation Park. McMaster Innovation Park is a new development. It's a partnership between McMaster University and all 3 bodies of government, and they're going to be developing over 2 million square feet of office and research space that's going to employ over 5,000 highly educated engineers and researchers. So it's right in the middle between all 3 of these areas, and the only type of housing available to all of these people are single-family houses built in the 1930s, 1920s. There's no private 1 and 2 bedroom brand new accommodations. So it's very rare, and it took us 10 years to find this property. We've been looking for a very long time because we've known the problem here, but we finally secured a property, one of the only properties I think that can handle this type of high-rise development.
So speaking of student homes, I guess if I'm not mistaken, Waterloo is like 10 years or 15 years ahead of Hamilton.
Yes.
In that field of student home equipped houses or high-rise for students. And
Yes.
this is really not available in Hamilton. Although McMaster is one of the unique universities not only in Canada, in the whole region.
Yeah, McMaster is one of the most important universities in the country. It has an amazing medical school, engineering program, health sciences, and we're based in Kitchener-Waterloo. In 8 developments, our head office is in Waterloo. And over the last 15 years, we've done 11 projects beside the University of Waterloo, which is also very well known for its engineering and computer science programs. When we started in Waterloo, it looks the exact same as Hamilton is now. The campus was surrounded by single-family houses built in the 1930s, 1940s, and landlords had converted these single-family houses into rooming houses for students. So you'd find 6, 7 bedrooms. You'd find bedrooms that used to be bathrooms and living rooms and dining rooms. And the conditions were very subpar. They were inadequate. Parents didn't feel comfortable leaving their students in these houses. The maintenance was very poor. The security was very poor. And we managed quite a few houses in the area, and we surveyed over 3,000 of these students, and we asked them, if you had the option to live in a 1 or 2 bedroom condo, would you be willing to pay higher rents? And 90% of them said yes, we would be willing to pay higher rents, but we just can't find a 1 or 2 bedroom condo. So in 2015, we built the first property, Sage Condos in Waterloo. And at the time, we guaranteed the lease rates at $999 a month for the 1 bedrooms and $1,600 a month for the 2 bedrooms. People said we were crazy. There's no way. These are students. They're not going to be willing to pay those type of rents. Students are on a budget. And we said, no, there are some students that are on a budget, but there's also a proportion of students that come from either high net worth families or they're doing their graduate work and they want to live in a 1 or 2 bedroom, luxury condo. And it was very, very successful. We had 100% occupancy. Since 2015, we've done 11 buildings. We've had 0% vacancy across all of those buildings. The 2 bedroom that we originally guaranteed for $1,600 a month, just 3 months later, it was renting for $2,100 a month. Sorry, 3 years later. Yeah. 3 years later, it's renting for $2,100 a month, and today it's renting for $2,500 a month. Wow. So very good rental growth, and there's still a lot of demand.
Yeah, I can claim that I have a decent number of viewers watching us from the Gulf states, yes. And international students are key for the Canadian market. Most recently, I guess August 27, all the news in Canada mentioned that although we have a high demand for students to come internationally, especially McMaster, to Canada to study, and this is a key investment part for the Canadian economy. However, we don't have enough settings for them to stay decently and have a decent or high end, because they are coming from international, from Dubai, for example. They are treated differently in Dubai. They would like to continue their lifestyle here in Canada.
Yeah.
But when it comes, let's say, to study in McMaster, they don't have that. So how did you manage to discover those needs and treat those different needs differently?
Yeah, that's a very good question. In Waterloo, we manage over 2,000 beds, and many of them are international students. The universities in Canada have grown quite a bit in their enrollment, and especially international students are more and more at Canadian universities, because Canadian universities offer a very high quality education. So in all of our condos, we have luxury finishes, we have in-suite washer dryers, stainless steel appliances, quartz countertops, nice 9-foot ceilings, underground parking. And what parents appreciate especially is we have 24-hour security. So there's a lobby concierge on the first floor monitoring the building. You have amenities like a nice fitness center. We have shared workspaces, so they have private study areas. You don't have to, walk in the middle of the night to the library when you have big exams. You have your own study area within the condominium. So these are features that international students have really appreciated, and because of this, a lot of these buildings in Waterloo are commanding very high rents.
Yeah, and just to build on what you are saying, when it comes to international students, moms and parents usually come and visit them.
Yes.
So ideally, you have lots of new designs for the 2 bedrooms.
Yes.
That if, let's say, mom can visit her daughter, or parents are coming overseas to stay for some time during Christmas break, during Ramadan, during any occasions, that it's good for them to have prime time with their kid there. Yeah. So 2 bedrooms is going to be, and you have that designs, right?
Yeah, one of the benefits of purchasing with us beside McMaster University, we have data going back.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Yeah. I need your headphone.
Yeah, you have
because
a
I'm
question?
getting a phone call.
Okay.
Hello, I would like to say hi. Hello, hello. Hello.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. I can hear you. You can go ahead and ask questions if you like. Who's this?
Hello?
Yes, hi. I can hear
Hi,
you.
MacD. This is, Can
Hi.
you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, you can go ahead and ask questions.
My name is Gada Al-Sadani,
Hi, Gada.
and I would like to ask some questions to Mr. Philip.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hello, Mr. Philip. How are you? I'm
Good,
glad
thanks.
that you are here today explaining for us about the project. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be a very successful project because, as you have mentioned earlier, there is a big demand, and provide housing in this area will provide availability to students and for hospitals and for the innovation park as well. But I just have few questions to understand the picture, because usually people understand more about the regular housing, but they do not understand about the pre-construction.
Right.
So I would like to know about the hidden fees during closing. You have just mentioned that the prices are locked with the 2023 pricing, which is very good, and we don't have to start with a mortgage. However, I want to know the hidden fees when we are closing about the resale now.
Yeah,
related to the pre-construction project.
Right. No, that's a very good question. Pre-construction is different from resale, and you have to know all the details, all the closing costs. So we've been doing pre-construction for a very long time. We've done over 12 projects, and what we do, all these fees, we cap them within the agreement of purchase and sale. Nice. So when you're applying pre-construction, there's fees that are outside of the builder. So the builder's in charge of, constructing your condo, making sure it's, a fantastic product. But when you're adding more density, when you're adding more bedrooms to a city, the municipalities charge levies because they argue that you're putting more strain on their roads, their schools, their police, their ambulances. So we've capped all the development levies. The caps for a 1-bedroom are 12,000. The 2 bedrooms are 15,000. All the other caps are related to utility companies, the carry-on warranty. So everything is capped within the agreement. You should generally budget about 2% of the purchase price for these adjustments on closing, but you don't have to worry about these costs going up between now and 2027 because the builder is taking all the risk on that. So if the city decides to increase their levies or the carry-on warranty or utility companies decide to increase their fees between now and 2027, you have the assurance that we've capped everything at a flat amount. So yeah,
Okay,
it's
so
fixed.
this means that the agreement will include the percentage, which you said is going to be around 22%, and this will be like guaranteed. We don't have to worry later on when we are closing that there will be things shows up at this point of time, right?
Correct. So in the agreement, first it'll list very clearly each of these closing costs, so you know all of them, and then it'll have a fixed number beside it, so a flat number, and it'll say says it's capped at this amount. It could be lower, but it will not exceed this cap and the number.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Do you have any other questions for him? Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, my second question is about maintenance fees.
Yep.
Usually, maintenance fees is challenge for any investor or home buyer. So, how is the maintenance fees are getting handled in this project?
Yeah, good question. So maintenance fees, we generally try to keep them as low as possible because we know most of our buyers are investors. So we don't have extravagant amenities like swimming pools and things like this that can be very costly to maintain.
Yeah.
So the maintenance fees are 69 cents per square foot a month. And this includes all your utilities, so heating, cooling, water. We also include internet within that 69 cents per square foot.
Students that are living there.
Exactly. We know what students have priorities for.
What
they want,
do they need?
They want the fastest, most reliable internet. So we include that within the maintenance fees, and we sign a bulk contract with Rogers, and that gets you the fastest internet at the lowest possible cost. So if you were to get Rogers' fastest internet package, you'd probably be paying $80 a month or higher. But with a bulk contract with Rogers, each owner is actually only paying just less than $30 a month, and they're getting 1 gigabyte download, unlimited internet. The student doesn't have to bring a modem. They don't have any technical issues. Everything's pre-wired, pre-dyed, plug and play. Exactly. So yeah, 69% per square foot, and that covers all your utilities except for electricity. Electricity is individually metered for each unit, and your tenant pays it. The tenant pays the electricity.
Will be fine.
Exactly, and it's not a big electrical bill. It's really just their appliances and lights. So yeah, those are your maintenance fees. We have a very good track record of our past projects of the maintenance fees not increasing much after first year. So yeah, they're fairly stable because we don't have these big amenities like a swimming pool. Our amenities are mostly outdoor amenities, and then we have study spaces, stuff like that. A fitness center, it doesn't cost very much to maintain. Also, this is a concrete and steel building. It's very, very stable. It's very solid. It's not like buying a house in the 1930s with unexpected costs with roof repairs or heating and insulation. These are very well
You don't
insulated.
have water leakage here or there. We don't have mold somewhere. Yeah, no issues. Kind of, right?
No, you don't have any of those type of surprises, and it's the highest insulation you can get with the thick concrete walls, and everything comes under warranty. That's another big benefit.
You have a trade warranty.
You have a carry-on warranty for 7 years. So investing in condos really takes all of the chance and surprises out of real estate investing because everything's built to the highest standards. Everything's built to last over 200 years. And for the initial period, everything's fully under warranty, so you won't even have to pay for any repair that might happen.
Yeah. So it's called condo life cycle. It's long term. It's industrial building kind of, right? So material wise is really strong compared to a small house that was done simply with limited material that we have.
Exactly.
For small units, and it costs fortune. Like you have a 2 million building, but
Yeah.
it's the drywall is like that, right?
Yeah, exactly. You try and punch the wall
Yeah,
in this
it's done.
building, you'll break
Yeah.
your hand. It's
Yeah.
pure concrete.
Yeah.
And everything is rigorously, checked. Everything's to, strong building codes. You have engineers working on this building. You don't have this surprise that maybe a past owner did something without a permit, that was incorrect that you'll have to fix. So yeah, and the heating and cooling system is, industrial quality. So it's much more energy efficient. What you're paying to heat this, 700 square foot space is way less than 700 square feet in a single family house. Yeah,
Makes sense.
Interesting information. Thank you very much, Mr. Philip.
Thank you for your question.
It was very nice understanding some of my questions with you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Lala.
Thank you for calling.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, you're welcome. Take care. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
I'll keep watching the series because it's very interesting.
Please
Thank
do.
you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
أعزائي المشاهدين، اليوم السادس احنا بنتابع معاكم كل اللي بنتكلم عنه في البري كونستراكشن ل 1107 Main Street. And I have another phone call. No? Okay, it's got so. Please keep trying. We have a phone number available. It's on the screen now, 289-274-8011. At any time during the show, you can call us and we will accommodate your call. We will manage to get the call. Yeah, so we have a phone call and say hi. Hello, we can hear you.
Yes, hello.
Hello, yes, go ahead.
Yes, hi. I've been tuned in for a while now, and I really do appreciate today's episode. Thank you, Mr. Philip, for shedding some light on this new project. I did have a question that I wanted to ask for you. It's more about the rental cycle for the students and how that will be managed at 1107 Main.
So one of the big benefits of investing in 1107 Main is the property comes with 2 years of free property management, 2-year lease guarantee, and a free furniture package. So what that means is from the first day of occupancy, you will have a tenant and you will start collecting rent. So everything around McMaster is rented on the school year. So the school year starts and ends in May. Starts in September, ends in April.
Yeah.
So we'll be renting these condos between October and March of the prior year in 2026 and early 2027. That's when most of the students at McMaster will be looking for a new place to live. So typically all of our buildings are 100% rented out by March before the building is finished. So you'll have a lease agreement in place between you, named as the landlord, and the tenant, and you'll start collecting rent from the first day of occupancy. We manage over 2,000 beds in Waterloo, so we have a very well-trained, good experienced property management company that knows how to deal with this type of market. And we give you a lease guarantee, which means this is the minimum amount that you will receive each month for the first 2 years. If the property management company is able to exceed that amount, and that has happened in some of our Waterloo projects, and we have a project in Kingston as well near Queens, you will receive the higher number. You will get the higher amount. So if we guarantee it for $3,200 and we rent it for $3,500, you will get $3,500 a month. So the property management company takes care of finding the tenant, doing all the due diligence with signing the lease agreement and vetting the tenant. They collect the rent every month on your behalf and electronically deposit it into your bank account. And we also provide a complete tenant services. So the tenant will never call you or email you directly. They'll call us, the property manager, and we take care of any of the questions they may have. You know, if their toilet's clogged, if they're locked out of the unit, you know, anything, we take care of that for you. So you don't have to be in Hamilton. You don't have to drive to Hamilton. It's completely hands-free, and that's what's most important to most of our investors. It's completely hands-free, doesn't take over their life being a landlord. And yeah, they're dealing with very experienced professionals who manage 2,000 beds already.
Wow. Any other questions?
Thank you for your answer there. And regarding the specific cycle itself, would it entail kind of like a 12-month lease that aligns itself with the school year? Is that kind of the plan moving forward?
Yeah. So it will be a 12-month lease. All the students are used to signing 12-month leases. So this project takes occupancy in May 2027. So you'll have a lease from May 1st to the end of April of the following year. And we actually sign 3-year leases. This is some of the experience that we got from the University of Waterloo. You have a 3-year lease in place, and the student has the option to terminate for year 2, but they have to tell you at the end of December. So instead of having your 12-month lease where the tenant only gives you notice 60 days before the end of the lease, in this situation, they'll give you notice more like 4 or 5 months before the end of that term.
Yeah.
So you'll know at the end of December if you need to find a new tenant, because how it works in the student market, everybody's signing leases between like October and March, like I mentioned before. So you need to know earlier than 2 months before the end of your lease. You'll know in December, and then we'll take care of finding a new tenant for you right away at the beginning of January. You get a full 12 months of rent.
Okay, nice. Yeah, well, I appreciate your time and answering my questions, Mr. Philip, and looking forward to this project. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your question.
Yeah, thank you. So usually the students, they have an advantage to do kind of sublease, like they are not using it for 12 months, right? They are studying. Sometimes they are working in the same premises, so that's good for them to use it. But is there any flexibility for them to sublease it to somebody else while they are in vacation for 4 months or 3 months?
We find in Waterloo, we really don't get much subleasing. We tend to rent to some of the more affluent students in the area. A lot of international students.
They need a full accommodation.
They need the full accommodation. We do sometimes allow subletting, but we will fully vet that sublease, and it'll be the decision of the landlord. So we still run it by the landlord, make sure they're okay with the sublet. But we don't get very many requests for it because once you've moved into your space, you've put your own personal items in there, you have it set up in your own way, and you don't need that rent in the 4 months. They don't ask for the sublet, so it's much easier as a landlord just to be dealing with one tenant.
I guess 1107 Main is not targeting only student homes, but also targeting the new opportunity that is coming from the area, which I'm really excited personally about, which is, I usually saying, the new Silicon Valley for Hamilton, which is the McMaster Innovation Park. Correct?
Yeah, correct. McMaster Innovation Park's a very, very unique space. It used to be the old Westinghouse manufacturing plant. So this is where they manufactured washer dryers and dishwashers. It's industrial space, big warehouse manufacturing spaces, and as you know, in Canada, a lot of manufacturing left, went overseas to Asia through the 1980s, 1990s, and so this space has been what we call brownfield space. It's been left fairly vacant. So McMaster has come in and said, we do some of the most important research in the country in terms of pharmaceuticals, health, and life sciences. We need a space where we can take this research and commercialize it, turn it into real medicine, real drugs, real therapies that people can use, real technology that physicians can use. And we want to bring this to market. We don't want to leave it just in the academic space. So they've partnered with the government of Canada, private investors, one of the biggest pharmaceutical companies in Canada, and they've purchased this space. And it's not a small space. It's over 2 million square feet of office space. To put that into perspective for you, that's like having the BMO Tower in downtown Toronto right beside you. It's like the Shard in London. It's 2.5 times the Shard in London, which is a 90-story office building. So this is going to be a major employment center. And I think this area, STEM, research, technology is the future. And that's where, they're going to see a lot of growth in the coming years.
Also, Hamilton Children's Hospital, it's like a second head ticket in Toronto, the one that we have in Toronto, it's in Hamilton.
Yeah.
And there are also potential for nurses, residences, and all the physicians that they are practicing there or coming there, visiting. They have a chance to also have a decent accommodation in 11107.
Exactly. McMaster is very unique that it has a hospital right in the middle of the campus. It doesn't really exist outside of U of T. There's not really any other campuses like that. And it's a major hospital. This is the sick kids for all of southwestern Ontario. Physicians and nurses, they work very late hours, all night long. They work 12-hour shifts. So they want accommodations that's close to the hospital. They don't want to, finish a 12-hour shift, 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. and then have to drive, 45 minutes to get home. It's much more convenient for them to, just walk, 5-10 minutes to their home. And this area, as we've said before, it's only single-family houses, and they're generally occupied by 7 or 8 students. It's not the type of place you'd want to live if you were a nurse or a technician or a physician. And by the way, all the physicians there are associate professors at the university. People don't know that, but doctors are also associate professors at the university. So they have a connection to the school as well. This will tap into an underserved market. And that's what we like to do at Innate Developments. We like to really identify these niche markets that are very, very underserved. And McMaster University is not in the business of building housing. That's not their specialty.
That's not.
So that's where we come in and we offer the housing that they haven't provided to the area.
So before I let you walk us through your amazing presentations, the last question from my side: how the viewers, if they are interested to book a unit there, how can they reach you, and how can they rest assured that you will have the best unit in the building?
Yeah, so every time we launch a building, we have platinum agents that we partner with. And on this project, Magdi is one of our platinum brokers. And that means he has a allocation of units. He has access, special access to our project. You can contact Magdi, and he's very experienced. He's already sold quite a few units, and he'll be able to answer all your questions and be able to secure a unit for you.
So we are excited now to walk. Can you please walk us through the presentation? If you like to highlight anything in your slides, we have the slides for you.
Yeah, sure. Okay, great. So this is a rendering of the front of 1107 Main. It's a 15-story building. And you can even see the LRT right in front. That's under construction.
Yeah, we didn't talk about the LRT. It seems that very exciting.
Yeah, we'll get to that shortly.
Yeah, for sure.
First, I just wanted to tell all the viewers, give some background about the builder, Innate Developments. So it's very important when investing in real estate to know the builder you're dealing with. Innate Developments, as I've already talked about, we're based in Waterloo, Ontario. And we've done 11 projects beside the University of Waterloo. We've also done 2 projects outside of near the universities. The first one was DTK condos in downtown Kitchener, 39-story building, 400 condos. That one was very close to some of the technology innovation hubs in downtown Kitchener. And we also launched Tech Tower last year, a very successful building, 45 stories in downtown Kitchener. That's currently under construction. One thing to note with all of these buildings around the University of Waterloo, they were all delivered on time. So we finished construction on time. And it's very rare for a builder to finish, the building on this same date that they promised initially.
Yeah,
the reason
nowadays,
nowadays. The reason for that is we offer a lease guarantee. And so, as I mentioned before, we'll have lease agreements signed months before the project is finished. And we need to have the project finished to be aligned with the school year. If we don't have it finished aligned with the school year, we'll lose all these leases that we've already put in place.
For sure.
So all of our construction timelines are generally very conservative. We add a buffer, and we also have a team. We do all of our construction in-house. So we don't just contract out the whole construction to another to a builder. We do our own general contracting, so we are intimately involved in the day-to-day of our construction.
Nice.
So our partner here is Westdale Properties. This is very important. Westdale Properties is one of the largest real estate developers in the country. They're partners on One Bloor East, Nobu condos, Forma condos. These are some of the biggest developments in downtown Toronto. They manage over 40,000 beds across North America. They have over 2 million square feet of commercial real estate. So yeah, very, very experienced, very deep pockets, and they believe in Innate Developments. They believe in 1107 Main. So this is our partner on this development. So here's a map of the area. You can see 1107 Main in the middle, and you can see it's a 10-minute walk to McMaster University on the left, 7-minute walk to McMaster Hospital. Westdale Village is something I really wanted to speak about. This is the name of the neighborhood. Westdale Village is the first master plan community in Canada. And what that means is, you see suburbs around Toronto, Mississauga, or Brampton, you have these curved streets, and that's done intentionally. So you have these beautiful curved streets that make it feel more intimate, it's more pedestrian friendly. They're lined with beautiful old growth trees. It's one of the safest and nicest areas in Hamilton.
We used to say Westdale and Hamilton is like Mississauga roads in Mississauga.
Exactly.
We all are from here. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's very nice compared to downtown Hamilton, where you have issues with homelessness and a lot of empty parking lots and security. It's not the type of place as a parent you'd want to leave your student for the first time living on their own. So yeah, Westdale's a very nice area. And then just below, you'll see the McMaster Innovation Park. It's a 10-minute walk just on the other side of the 403. You also see there the on-ramp for the 403 is right beside the building, so it has very easy access to the highway. And all of this area, all of these surrounding properties are single-family homes, 2-story houses built, 1930s, 1940s.
Really correct, yes.
So this is the Westdale Village area. Mm-hmm. You have over 70 businesses, retail businesses on this strip. It's really beautiful if you ever have time to visit. Beautiful restaurants, shops, movie theater. beautiful patios out front. So it's really designed to be pedestrian friendly. So you can do all your shopping there. You can, find a nice bite to eat, great entertainment. So it's a very beautiful area and great for real estate values. Okay, so we talked about Westdale Village. Let's talk about McMaster University. This is, one of the most important schools in the country. It's a major employer, as I mentioned, almost 15,000 faculty members. And the international student enrollment increased at this school by almost 25% in 2018. You have 37,000 students, very good business school, the group business. You have a medical school. You have one of the best health and life science research programs. And it has been growing very, very fast, but they have not been able to keep up with the amount of on-campus housing, and that's very important. So on-campus housing is generally shared rooms. So you have 4 bedrooms, bunk beds. You do not have your own private bathroom. You do not have your own private washer dryer. So it's generally on, another floor. And the key here is they don't even have enough beds for the first-year students. If you're a first-year student, you're not guaranteed a bed. And second, third, fourth year onwards, for sure, you won't get a bed on campus. So very, very primitive accommodations. And they don't even have enough beds for the incoming first-year students, which shows a lack of housing. If you just Googled McMaster housing in the last couple months, these are the type of articles we found on CBC. Incoming students find nerve-wracking race to find housing, very stressful. There's not even enough beds off campus for all these students. And what's most important is you don't have quality beds where it's clean, it's safe, you have proper locks on the door, you have a kitchen with appliances that work, you have bathrooms that are clean and adequate. So parents find this to be one of the most stressful parts of sending their kid to university, is finding the right housing. Being successful at university starts with having the foundation of a nice place to live. It affects everything in terms of your academic success.
I can build that based on my relations with the community. There are lots of people from my community, students, parents, they prefer them to buy a car and commute from Oakville, from Milton, from even Mississauga.
Right.
Some of them, they are commuting from, from London,
Wow.
from Richmond.
Yeah.
Because there is no decent accommodation for them that especially safe for, let's say, families that they are conservative.
Yeah.
They like their girls are staying safe in a decent location.
Yeah, that's very important, and that's top of mind for every parent.
Yeah.
But you have to think about it. How much time are they losing driving where they could be studying?
It's a drawback because of the commuting, especially in the winter season, and the loss that they have, the struggle that they have, the mental issues that they are stressed on driving and catching an exam or catching a very important study there.
Exactly.
That's a loss.
Yeah, it's a loss of time every day commuting back and forth where they could be studying, could be getting ready for the next exam. They have group projects, they have to be meeting with other students, and it's very restrictive for the university lifestyle to be driving back and forth. It's much better to live right beside campus so that you can be involved in the student extracurricular activities, you can be involved in student associations, and when it comes down to exam time, you're focusing just on studying, and that's it. You're not driving.
I already asked lots of students, and they said, Magdi, the year that I started to commute, I had low marks, stressful time, exhausted from long drive, and challenges with my tickets, my issues in the car. So it's really frustrating. It's a peace of mind to have a decent 2 bedrooms or 1 bedroom that you have your own everything. You can easily study, and even you will walk us through the facilities because students will love that. Will love the entertainment that you have and
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
lifestyle there in the condo.
Everything here is purpose built. That's really important. You're not getting a house that was designed for, you know, a family of four, and it's been roughly converted into, you know, a student type of house. This is built from the very beginning to accommodate this lifestyle. So yeah, these articles really shed light on the problem that we're addressing here. So the next slide. Okay, so the next slide here shows the tremendous growth in international students, universities. So if you follow anything with Canadian demographics, you'll know that our population has been increasing quite quickly over the last couple of years. But one of the most important trends in Canadian demographics is the increase in international students. Year over year, the number of international students has grown by 35%. That's a massive increase. In the last 5 years, it has increased 188%. It's almost tripled the number of international students. And it's worth noting that these international students pay higher tuition than domestic students.
Correct.
More than double. It's more like triple.
Even 6 times.
Even 6 times.
Yeah.
So in order to afford that higher tuition and in order to afford coming to Canada and, you know, getting into these schools, they all come from very high net worth families, and they make very, very good tenants because they're looking for this type of accommodation. You're solving a problem for them that's very important, and they are willing to pay these higher rents because their school and education is most important to them. So this is a trend that continues to increase, and at McMaster University, 17.5% of the students are international students right now. So it's a real problem specifically at McMaster University.
I need to make sure that your voice is heard because it's disconnected from my earpiece, just to make sure that we are okay with the voice.
Yeah. So this is the next chart. And I wanted to highlight here the vacancy rates in Westdale. So I talked about a shortage of supply, but these numbers really show the true facts. So in Westdale, the vacancy rate is 1.8%. Very, very low. Hamilton as a whole is 2.1%, but Westdale is the lowest in the area, 1.8%. And then when you dive even deeper into apartment condos within Westdale, the vacancy rate is 0.1%. So it's basically, there's no vacancy if you want to live in an apartment condo. So it's very, very low. And rental rates have been increasing. They grew 15.5% in 2022, which is very, very fast. And one of the beauties of investing close to a university is McMaster and students, every 2-3 years, you get a new tenant because they graduate from university. So you're not stuck with the same tenant for 5, 8, 10 years, and you can't increase the rent almost at all during that period.
Right.
Every 2-3 years, you get an opportunity to increase the rent. And that leads to much better yields for the investors.
We compare this to the normal rental properties where you cannot increase, let's say in Mississauga or in GTA, it was more than 2.5%. That one, that's not going to apply here because the student will leave within 2-3 years, and then you have a new student and you can apply the new term of the rental property at that year.
Exactly. You can really follow more the market rent.
So we need to have a break. Just they have a technical issue with the voice.
Okay.
And we'll come back.
Okay.
All right.
Good.
أعزائي مشاهدي اليوم السادس خليكم معنا.
It's good, but
ايه اللي حصل؟ What happened? أعزائي مشاهدي اليوم السادس ورجعنا لكم تاني بنكمل. We are talking about the advantage and privilege and benefits of investors to invest in 1107 Main Street for students in Hamilton. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
sorry for that
No,
issues, but
no problem.
yeah, we can hear you properly now.
Okay,
So
great.
we're talking about the students when they rent. It's good for both the students to have a good and decent unit, and also for the investor that they can flip the rent in every 3 years. That's
Exactly.
benefit for
You can really follow the market in terms of the market rental rate.
Yeah.
And what landlords often complain about is they see the rental rates in the market go up, 1 year 15% or 20% even, and their tenant doesn't want to leave because they see the rents going up so much. They don't want to leave. They want to take advantage of the low rental rate that they are locked into from 4 or 5 years ago. And so you don't get trapped into this type of situation when you're investing in student housing, because that student is going to graduate, in 2-3 years. And you get to more closely track the market rent, and that can turn into much higher returns for investors over the years.
Nice.
So keep going here.
Yeah.
The next slide I wanted to highlight is McMaster Children's Hospital.
Yeah, we talked about that.
So here's an image of the McMaster Children's Hospital. Like I said, one of the most important hospitals in terms of in the southwestern Ontario for Children's Hospital. They have one of the largest NICU centers, and they have one of the largest children mental health centers as well. So a lot of government investment going into McMaster Children's Hospital, and a lot of potential tenants as well.
And they are fast in emergency. So if you have a kid that, God forbid, have issues with emergency, you don't stuck here in or Oakville. Run to, just a tip for my viewers.
Yeah.
Run to. I know you are gonna drive 40 minutes from here.
Yeah.
But at least you are not gonna wait 12 hours.
Yeah. McMaster Children's Hospital. It's one of the most important children's hospitals in the province.
Yeah.
And walking distance from this location.
Nice.
So the next slide here, you can walk there. Here's the McMaster Innovation Park. So this is a great aerial image of McMaster Innovation Park. You can see us on the left-hand side of this map here. That's 1107 Main. Behind it is McMaster University Main Campus, and below is McMaster Innovation Park. So we're right in the middle between McMaster Main Campus and the Innovation Park. As I mentioned before, McMaster Innovation Park is being developed right now, and it's under construction. They have about 3,000 jobs already, 3,000 people working there, and they're aiming to get to 5,000 by 2026. So another advantage of investing in pre-construction is you're investing at prices today before the Innovation Park is fully built out, fully operational. This is going to do wonders for the real estate values when it's done in 2026.
So customers usually ask, what is the view? If I buying a unit there, is the east or west or south is the view for the Innovation Park, and what is the view for the university?
Yeah, good question. So the university is facing west.
West.
So west is the university, and east is the McMaster Innovation Park.
West and east.
West and northwest is the university.
Yeah.
South and east, southeast is the McMaster Innovation Park. I'll get more into views later, but one great thing about this area is there's no obstructions. It's surrounded by 2-story houses, and you have views of the Niagara Escarpment, which is a unique feature to the Hamilton area.
Hamilton, yeah. Hamilton views are amazing anyway. So if you are in 13, 12 floor, any side, west, south, you have amazing view.
Yeah, and to the north, you're going to see the Lake Ontario. You'll see Hamilton Bay to the north. That's very unique to this type of project.
Especially the falls and amazing views and in the falls.
Yeah, right around this time of year, you'll be able to see the escarpment, take over the horizon, and all the skyline will have these beautiful orange and red trees. So it's a really nice view. And as I was mentioning earlier, it took us 10 years to find this property. There is no other condo proposed even for this area.
Yeah,
you will not see another condo here built for at least 10 years. The reason for that is this property it used to be an old church. So it's a very, very old property. It was the only property on Main Street that offered us enough depth and enough width to build 15 stories because the city doesn't want builders to do high-rise buildings right beside the two-story houses. So you got to be on Main Street first, and then to the south of us is the two-story houses. We had to have enough depth to do the step backs. So on the third floor, it's not as high, and then on the fifth floor it gets a little higher. So you have these step backs going higher and higher. This was the only property along Main Street that was deep enough that allowed this. That's why it took us 10 years to find this property. In Waterloo, the city made a brand new official plan for the whole area that allowed you to build whatever you'd like. You can assemble 5 houses and build 12 stories, 20 stories, no problem. Hamilton is taking the other direction. They want to preserve these two-story houses, and they've implemented a brand new rental licensing program for these houses so that the landlords increase, the quality of the inside. It's to meet, fire code and building code. So what you're going to see is a lot of these landlords are going to have to invest a lot of money in these houses. There'll be less bedrooms, less supply, because you can't put a bedroom in a closet anymore. And the rental rates will go up because of that investment all the landlords had to make. So, it'll make this accommodation more attractive.
Interesting.
Yeah. So here's the McMaster Innovation Park, 2.8 million square feet, 5,000 full-time jobs. And like I said, it's a collaborative space for these early startups to take the innovative research that they've done and apply it to an actual commercial application, something that's very important to our economy. So as a reference point, this is the Shard. It'll be 4 times larger than the Shard, which is a 95-story, beautiful office building in London, England. It's 25 times the size of Communitech in Kitchener. Many people who invested in Tech Tower know all about Communitech. So you may not be in downtown Toronto, but you have an employment hub here that's very similar to one of the skyscrapers in downtown Toronto. This is the old building, 606 Aberdeen Avenue. This is what it was a couple of years ago before McMaster Innovation Park bought it. This is the plan for it. So a beautiful space for shopping, garden, and entertainment. Look at the difference here and what it'll do to property values around the area.
Exciting. Wow.
So this shows the unprecedented growth in Hamilton. It's growing at twice its historical average. The population is going to add almost 150,000 people by 2041. This is mainly because Hamilton offers more affordability than Toronto. As we know, housing cost is a major concern for everybody in Ontario. There's a housing shortage, and incomes have not kept up with the cost of housing. So many people are choosing Hamilton, which is 25% more affordable than Toronto. And what you're going to see over the next 5 years is Hamilton is going to be much more connected to Toronto. It's going to be, they're already calling it the GTHA, the Greater Toronto Hamilton area. And I'll go over a couple reasons why Hamilton's going to be more connected to Toronto. It'll feel a lot closer to Toronto in 2027. Nice. Immigration, international immigration, adding 7,500 people every year to Hamilton. Newcomers to Canada often will first move to Toronto and then find that there's more affordable, better options. They can get more they can get more house for the same amount of money in spaces like Hamilton or Kitchener-Waterloo. So it's another reason why Hamilton's an exciting place to invest.
I agree.
Yeah, this is very important. Transit. Whenever we invest in any sort of real estate development project, we always look for government spending. It's always good to buy where there's major government infrastructure being invested. And in Hamilton, you have a brand new LRT system. The LRT, it's actually the next slide here. The LRT is a $3.4 billion investment. And it's going to run right along Main Street, and you're going to have a stop right out front. So if you want to take the train to downtown or to one of the GO stations, you'll have an LRT right in front. I tell people in Kitchener with DTK condos, people purchased in 2018, and in 2020, the LRT was finished in Kitchener-Waterloo. It was 19 kilometers of track. And the next year, housing prices went up 22% in Kitchener. So what you're investing in here is you're investing in pre-LRT prices. So you're investing before the LRT is built. Once it's finished and once it's built, it'll be much higher real estate values.
Okay.
So going back to the GO train here. This is another big investment. $13.5 billion is being invested by the government of Ontario through Metrolinx. And what they're going to be doing is electrifying the Lakeshore West line. So you'll be able to get from Hamilton to Union Station in just 45 minutes. The trains will be faster. The trains will accelerate much faster. So right now it's an hour and 9 minutes from Hamilton to Union. It'll go down to 45 minutes, which is the same amount of time it takes you to take the TTC from Kipling Station to Union Station. So it'll be just as fast as going from Kipling to Union or from Hamilton. And you're riding in a nice GO train. It's outdoors, you could get your phone.
Internet. And
you have internet, you have a seat with a headrest, so it's much, much more convenient.
Nice.
Like I said, you're investing before the LRT is built, which is very important. So here's the case study here. This is what we saw in Waterloo 10 years ago, as I mentioned before. There was not enough housing, especially the 1 and 2 bedroom condos. And we focused on redeveloping these single family houses into 10, 12, 20 story condominiums. Our portfolio of over 1,500 beds that we built between 2015 and 2019 seen 0% vacancy. We started with Stage 2 condos with our 1 and 2 bedrooms. And like I said earlier, the 2-bedroom condo is guaranteed for $1,600 a month, $800 a person. And with just 3 years, it was already at $2,000 a month in rent. And today it rents for $2,400 a month. So really, really strong rental growth.
Parents are challenging me, saying, Magdi, can you imagine 3,200 is going to be the rent? Do you think that is going to happen? So guys, do you have kids in university or not yet? If you are, ask them. Ask the students.
What you're saying to me was exactly what people said to me in 2015. $1,600 a month for a 2-bedroom? No way, you're crazy. Right? We told them, we've done these surveys, we've collected data, and we've studied the market, and we've seen that there is no accommodations for these 1 and 2 bedroom condos. Right now, they're in Hamilton. It's not as close to the university. There's a small apartment building, and they're charging $2,450 for their 2-bedroom right now. It's not as nice. It's further from the university. It doesn't have in-suite laundry. It only has 1 bathroom instead of 2 bathrooms for a 2-bedroom. But if you take just the historical rental growth over the last 3 years, you'll see in 3.5 years that $2,450, that $2,500 a month will be $3,200, especially in a higher end building with nicer finishes, nicer amenities. and beautiful in-suite laundry and stainless steel appliances. So yeah, we believe in these numbers. We've done it before, and we know this market.
So what is the takeaway message if you would like to summarize the investment for an investor that he is watching and
Yeah, I mean, the thesis with our condominiums is always buy low, rent high. Buy low is much more affordable than your downtown Toronto projects or your Mississauga projects. You really can't find a 2-bedroom in those type of projects for under 700,000. In this building, you can, but you'll get rents that are the same or higher than Mississauga. And in our DTK building, we're getting $4.50 a square foot. I mean, that's very comparable to what you'd get in Mississauga. And the reason for this is you have a captivated audience. You have tenants that need to be close to the university. You have tenants that need to be close to the hospital or the innovation park. And you're renting to people that otherwise would not rent. These students come with a guarantor, which is their parents, who probably own houses that are valued over $1 million, making 6-figure salaries. Typically, these people would own their house, their accommodation. But with student housing, that's essentially who you're renting to. You're renting to a 6-pocket tenant. You have the students' 2 pockets, you have the parents, and you have the grandparents. So it's very, very secure. We have never had any issues with collecting rent. And as an added layer, even if you almost didn't even need it, you have the innovation park where you'll have very, highly educated, highly skilled engineers, great tenants, and physicians from doctors at the hospitals, which are also AAA tenants.
So I hear lots of concerns from parents, especially from Waterloo, because you have built a history there. They are saying that if I give it to the innate or the guys that they are going to manage it, how I'm going to control my unit? That's my investment. I need my son to go there. I can't. You already take it. So how you are flexible in give and take the option of you take care of it for me as an investor, or you give me my full control on my investment. I manage it the way I like.
Yeah, that's a good question. So in all of our contracts, we give you the option. So you can either take the property management and lease guarantee option, or you can choose a credit on closing. I believe it's $15,000 for your 2-bedroom and $10,000 for your 1-bedroom. So if you have a child who's going to the university and you want them to live there, you'll get this credit on closing. We'll reduce the purchase price for you. And you don't have to decide today which option you'd like to take. You only have to tell us which option you'd like to take. Probably like the beginning of 2026, we need to know. So you have time. You can see what the future holds and whether you'd like us to rent it or you'd like to have your kid live there or you'd like to do it yourself.
Magdi will rent it for you.
Let someone else. It's completely up to you. And we'll only need to know in like early 2026.
So how you are flexible in going back and forth in this idea? Let's say if I miss the 2026 saying, I'm going to have my kid there, and then he is switching to another university. Is it too late to come to you saying, hey, can I give it back? Let's say the year after?
No, so we will continue to manage this property for you even after the 2-year free property management. So the property management fee is 5% of your rental income. So you can come to us later and say, I do actually want you to rent it out, and you'll have our property management services at that 5% management fee.
Philip, I would like to thank you so much for all this informative information that we got today. Unfortunately, the time is, as usual, done. And we already had a very nice information, very informative. And we appreciate your time, and we thank you so much for having for having you today with us in the show.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. It's been a pleasure. And I hope all the viewers gained some very good information, and hopefully it was helpful for them as they navigate the real estate world.
أعزائي مشاهدي اليوم السادس اللي موجودين في الخليج، اللي موجودين في مصر، اللي موجودين في الميدل ايست أو في كندا هنا، حابين تو انفست في 1107 مين ستريت في هاملتون. It's not only a student home، دي حكاية كمان بعدها. فكر تعالى وإحنا هنكون على اتصال بيك وهنجيب لك اليونت اللي أنت هتكون فعلا مبسوط إنها a real investment. أعزائي مشاهدي اليوم السادس، تصبحوا على خير. Thank you.
Thank you, Mekhail.